Alright, in this video we will be talking about Deepwoken. Do want to preface this video by saying that Deepwoken is a very good game. It is just has a couple flaws, okay? That's it. Every perfect thing is flawed in some way, shape, or form, and Deepwoken, not to say that it's perfect, is also flawed in a couple of ways. These ways aren't like game breaking. Well, sometimes they can be, and it's like aggravating, but one of these I know everyone knows about and is going to agree with me on. The other, I might get some backlash for as a take. It's kind of like a hot take, so you know what, we will see. But if you guys want to see more Deepwoken content, please let me know. If you guys enjoy it or whatever, because I'm not making a full transition to Deepwoken content, but I am trying to make more because I want to make content on the things that I enjoy, and Deepwoken is something that I do genuinely enjoy, so it is obviously something that I want to keep making content on. Anyway, that's enough on that. Let's actually get into it. So the first thing is lag. The game does suffer sometimes from game breaking lag. It can make or break fights, especially with NPCs. Against players it's not that bad because it usually can be mutual lag, and then just server lag, so then you'll both be suffering and neither of you will really be hitting each other with anything too bad. But when it's against NPCs, you can eat full combos, just full M1 combos plus skills, and then it'll all register at once and it'll be very annoying, and it can really cost you a whole life, and it's just aggravating sometimes. The worst case it's happened to me was I was literally just M1ing an NPC once, and I lagged, and 3/4 of my HP bar was gone once the lag stopped, and I almost died. Luckily I clutched it up, but it was just an aggravating experience. And I know there's no direct solution to this, and I know they have been working on it, and they did release patch notes. They did do a shutdown in the last couple days trying to fix it, and I think it did fix it a little, but I still do notice the lag. Lag is still a big issue, especially when there's no private servers, meaning you can't choose you can't choose your own local server. So if you're stuck with some server across the country, or worse, across the world, your kind of only solution is to just log until you get one that's ballpark, just somewhat close at least, so your ping isn't horrible. And even then, sometimes it's not a server issue at all. Sometimes it is just the game is just laggy for no reason. Sometimes it's just not even related to your region, it's just you're lagging horribly, and that is the worst part, because it's there's no real solution, because you just could server hop, but then boom, you'll run into the problem at some point when you're playing, and it breaks the flow of the game, and it can be pretty aggravating at times. But I know there's no direct solution, and I know the devs are working their hardest to try and fix it, so there's not really much I can say on that. The second problem is kind of where I'm not really positive on a good solution for this, but here goes nothing. Please don't judge it too hard. But the second problem I want to state is the PvP. Okay, hear me out. By PvP, I mean the RKers. I know random killing is part of the experience. I get that 1000%. 1000%, just randomly killing people is part of the experience. I think there should be I think they need to implement two things, or one or the other. I think personally two, but one would be great. Is a power cap onto when you can, if someone has over a 20 power difference or 30 power difference, you can't fight them, because at that point it's just unfair. Or if you're below power 5, you can't. If you're below power 10, you can't fight people that are above power 10. Only the below power 10 people can fight, because it's just aggravating being a freshie and then just getting absolutely stomped by some high power dude in Etris. It's just aggravating. Why? What are you doing here? Just stomping everyone you see. It's you don't gain anything from this. You literally gain nothing. So why? And I know people will make the argument, oh, you can gain luck from killing players. The players have to be roughly they have to be a similar power to yours. If the gap is too big, then you won't gain any luck from it, and you just don't gain anything. So why bother? But yeah, that's one solution to that, and that is my problem. It's the fact that like every time someone who's like a low power will attempt to progress, they can either die as soon as they like spawn in by someone who's sitting in the inn and just, you know, camping your lives, which could be aggravating. Or let's say, for example, and I know there's guards there for a reason, but there's a solution, there's a workaround to the guards. Literally kill them, grab them, take them out of the town, and then grip them, and then go back into the town, and then boom, you're chilling. Like, why is that something you can do? It's very aggravating. And another solution to that would literally be implement a grace period after you die. Like, after you die, you can't be hit by another player, or you can't interact with other players for like 10 minutes or something. I don't know, something like that. Just a grace period, or have the inn be like a safe zone. Have spawn locations be very small safe zones, so people can't just like, so they at least have somewhere they can go to, where if someone like is tempting them, so they at least have time. Because there is like a way that people could genuinely, if they wanted to, just wipe someone else if they really wanted to, and that's just aggravating. Like, why? It's just a person trying to enjoy the game, and then they just get wiped for nothing just because someone's being like toxic. It's not even like the fact that the person who's fighting them is trying to, like, you know, it's not, they're not using the mechanic of, you know, players fighting each other the way that it was intended, and it's aggravating. Another way this is like a problem is in progression. You know, you're just constantly getting jumped, and I know there's nothing you can really do about that, but again, I think a power system would help. It's because, like, if you have people who are way higher power grinding in a similar area to people who are lower power for some odd reason, and the fact that they can just kind of kill their whole grinding experience is stupid. It's like, it's a super one-sided fight. I'm all for an uphill battle, like someone who's like 10 power higher than me, and I'm like power 10, they're power like 20, 30, and then maybe I could win. I'm all for that. Like, skill over like what you're given. That's great. I love the fact that that's something that you can do in this game, but where do you draw the line at, like, this dude is power 1 and this dude is power 20, and he doesn't have any skills, and he's not gonna win? Because if you just rely on your skills while the other person is relying strictly on M1s, then chances are you're not gonna win. I know if you get good enough, then you can kind of like put up a good fight, but like, come on. There's like, it's annoying to the new players, and it can be a real big what's the word? It can be a big, whatever I'm thinking of, to make people like stop playing, like new players, to make them turn away from the game. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but you know what I mean. You know, it's very annoying for new players, and it would make them stop playing the game and not even give it a chance if people who are higher level, way better than them, just keep jumping them and then forcing them to lose all their progress. Because I do understand Deepwoken is a difficult game, but at a certain point, it's just like, it makes getting into the game a little harder, and it also makes it so that people have the ability to be incredibly toxic towards you. Even if you are good at the game, even if you are into the game, and it's like you're not your first time wiping, and you've done this multiple times, and then there's just some dude who's sitting in Etris, just like Etria, whatever it's called, and they're just like chilling at the end, waiting to jump people who just spawned in. Like, why? Have the inn be either a safe zone or just something, because the fact that you can get jumped there is super aggravating. Yeah, those are my main two problems, is lag and arcane. And I know the lag, yes, you guys will definitely agree with me on that. I feel like there's no way you can't agree. Like, we recognize the fact that it's a problem. There's no direct solution. Everyone's trying their hardest, but it's still an annoyance that people are recognizing. Not really complaining and, like, you know, just being annoying about it, but we're just recognizing the fact that the problem exists and that everyone is trying their best in this situation, right? But the PvP one, I know it's kind of a hot take because it takes away from like the hardcore aspect of the game, but I really do feel like it's kind of fundamental for a learning curve because it's annoying. It really is aggravating that some people can just troll with absolutely zero repercussion, and it's not like it's some light trolling. It's like, bro, you could potentially be wiping this dude's thing, and he's just like, in fact, it could happen over and over and over again if the person's truly unlucky enough and just runs into the wrong people. It's just aggravating, dude. It is so aggravating, and they could just gank you, to be honest. Like, even if you do have skill, going back to what I was saying, it's like, oh yeah, if you're skillful enough. No amount of skill, I mean, there is an amount of skill, but it's kind of like it's an unrealistic amount of skill where there will be higher power people ganking lower power people. It's just like, and I'm not saying like slightly, like within 10 levels. I'm saying more than 10 level difference, more than 20 power difference probably. Like, that's where it's just like unfair. Like, why? And again, I'm for a fight. Okay, I'm making this sound bad. I'm for a fight with a power difference. I would love to fight someone who's higher power than me, right? It'd be very interesting. It could be fun. But I'm saying that if someone wanted to, they could have the option when they are below the power of like 5 or so to just disable PvP. Just when they're below the power of 5. And that's it. You know, just to present itself, because when you're just trying to make your way up and you're in those early powers and you could easily just get manhandled by anyone who's, you know, above a power of 10 or 15 or 20 who's trying to grind in a similar spot as you, and you just lose it all, and it's just like, oh, now I have to restart again. And that's something that you can run into a good chunk of times before your build is of like reasonable strength and you have like a good grasp of the game, let's say, because you're really trying to take into consideration people who are getting trolled and people who are trying to get a grasp of the game. You're trying to take both into consideration with this. But I know it might not be for everyone, and I'm not saying it's something that has to be added. I was just voicing my opinion on it because, like, I have friends who are trying to get into the game and they just kept getting trolled and like just kept getting arcade, and it's like, come on. It's like people sitting at the docks of Etria just waiting for people to try to leave. Like, come on. That's just uncalled for. And for what? Literally, like, for what? There's no way you're gaining enjoyment out of randomly killing these power 3 people. Power 1, bro. You haven't left the main island. And it's very, very aggravating. But other than that, again, this game is very good. Very, very good. And there's really nothing wrong with it. And I know this video is like a bit lazy because it's just commentary, but hey, I didn't know what else to upload, so sorry. And yeah, again, if you guys are enjoying the Deepwoken content, please let me know by liking the video. I do enjoy making Deepwoken videos, and I also enjoy making GPO content. If there's any other games you guys would like me to try, let me know. I will see you guys. I think that's everything I wanted to say, right? Yeah. I will see you guys next time. Peace.